Let's have a photo. It'll keep my mum happy.
HMS Northumberland is a cutting-edge Royal Navy frigate.
Reg 150. Inbound, height 180 feet.
Where 200 sailors live and work.
Hi Jacob, hello Chloe, this is Daddy speaking.
Heading to the Arctic Circle.
Oh wow, absolutely stunning.
In some of the worst conditions imaginable.
I was getting continually smashed by waves. It was unsafe, frankly.
We've got to get on top of it. Worst case is things could explode.
Our cameras have been given access to HMS Northumberland's secret 4-month deployment. At a time of unprecedented pressure from the Russian military.
Russian bear is inbound at Red 160.
It's a big ass aircraft.
I hold one Russian surface vessel at the bearing of 275.
Northumberland must defend the UK from enemies who are visible.
She is a strange-looking ship.
And hidden.
Side by side, we're submarine guys, we are V close.
If we go to war, quite simply, it's too late.
And the crew must protect each other.
However you're feeling doesn't make you any less of a sailor.
We have taken aboard our ship.
From the perils of life at sea.
Casualty, casualty, casualty! Talk to me!
Last time,
Aircraft visual, Red 160, tracking left to right.
Northumberland was ordered to help defend Royal Navy flagship HMS Queen Elizabeth. Before beginning to hunt for a Russian submarine.
We need to make sure that we can defend our homeland.
HMS Northumberland is at sea on a 4-month deployment. 10 miles off the coast of Scotland, Captain Tom Hobbs is expecting new orders.
Morning.
This morning, as he starts his daily rounds,
Timmy, you alright? How's you?
he's waiting for intelligence on a Russian submarine that's currently under surveillance.
Oh, listeners.
Morning, sir.
How you doing? I work quite hard to get around and know people, and without my people, this is just a hunk of metal and plastic. I can't command or meet people unless I know them. So I spend a lot of my time wandering around the ship, just shooting the breeze.
One of the final stops on his tour is the warfare team in the ops room.
This room is what makes a warship a warship.
Send to investigate, bearing 268.
The ops room acts as a conduit and a bringing together of information to allow me to make a decision. It's a demanding job. It is high pressure and high stress. When you're the person making the decision, everyone looks at you.
Yeah, we got red fighters, green formation.
And I love it.
A few minutes later,
That is great intel.
Navy Command sends initial details about the submarine that's under surveillance.
SS-class Russian submarine. Main purpose is anti-submarine warfare and then trying to wreak havoc.
This class of submarine is one of the largest ever built, and one of Russia's most dangerous and secretive. The crew will need their wits about them.
Hey, X-ray Juliet, Roger out.
As they wait for their orders, up on deck,
Do you know where I'm supposed to put my stuff? Or are you just leaving our stuff here?
Northumberland's newest recruit is arriving.
Quite nervous. Glad that I'm here, though. Sorry, I've never been on board a 23 before.
21-year-old Olivia Titmus is a trainee officer. This is her first experience of being at sea.
Hello, it's nice to meet you. It's nice to be on board. It's nerve-wracking, obviously, because it's my first time on board a ship, which is still a lot to take in, I suppose.
My dad's ex-Navy, served in Iraq, Afghanistan,
so kind of had that kind of connection already. Really excited to be on board, terrified I suppose a little bit, just because I've got to learn a huge amount in a really short period of time. Close the door. Once I've unpacked, this is my home now. My new room. Yeah, there are definitely positives to being female and being in the Royal Navy, because there's less of you. There's less of you.
Some of the men on Northumberland share a cabin with up to 17 others, but Olivia gets to share her room with just 2 women.
I'm going to take this one, because I don't think I'll be able to get in there very easily. I'm not the bigot, so. Long story short, this is James the penguin, and basically last Christmas my boyfriend's mum made 2 penguins, and my boyfriend has Olivia the penguin and I have James the penguin, which is really sad but also really cute. And so it's quite nice because when we're away it's kind of like having each other, I suppose. Might as well make it a bit nicer. Look at that, much more like home. Isn't it so cute?
The captain has received an update on the Russian submarine.
Is everyone here?
And he's gathered his senior officers.
Russian submarine is enough of a threat that we have to take it seriously. So we have been directed to head up north, probably north of the Arctic Circle. The Russians are in a location that I wouldn't want them to be. So we have to deal with her. She has now become the priority target.
The new intelligence suggests the Russians are heading towards sensitive waters in the Arctic. Downing Street has been notified and has ordered Northumberland to head north immediately.
Good afternoon, Northumberland. Commanding Officer speaking. So I want to take a couple of minutes just to say
a little bit on what we're doing next. Our tasking is to the far north, probably north of the Arctic Circle. It will be cold, likely it will be rough for quite a sustained period. When we head up north, we need to be on our A game.
So you need to make sure that you're prepared and ready.
That is all. Thank you very much.
The Russian submarine is currently ahead of Northumberland, but if the captain doesn't get his ship to the Arctic first, vital British interests there could be under threat. HMS Northumberland is heading north to the Arctic in pursuit of a Russian submarine. It's a clear sign of the growing tensions between the UK and Russia in the region.
Britain's most senior military officer has warned of a threat posed by Russia.
There's a new risk to our way of life, which is the vulnerability of the cables that crisscross the seabeds.
Captain, can you just pop up? Thanks.
Thousands of top-secret cables carrying nearly all of the UK's phone lines and internet lie on the seabed. Some of the most important go via the Arctic Circle. It's feared Russia's mission is to damage or hack into them.
Come on in.
And Northumberland has been ordered to stop them.
It's likely heading towards UK-sensitive waters. There is a realistic probability it is conducting operations.
The Prime Minister's talked about the Russian threat to those cables. And if the submarine took out our cables, I guarantee everyone in this country would notice the impact. We wouldn't have internet for weeks. So Russia will take care of the UK, not by lobbing nuclear missiles into us. They take care of us by disconnecting us from the rest of the world. And so that can't happen. We have to react. We need to protect our cables in the same ways that we used to protect ships going across the oceans.
The Russians are ahead of Northumberland and expected to be in the Arctic and in range of the cables in the next 48 hours. But they're slower than Northumberland. If the captain makes good time, he might be able to overtake them.
It's going to be incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult.
The Russian submarine has
the upper hand.
I hate making beds. It's my least favourite job. But it has to be done.
Today is trainee officer Olivia's first full day on the ship.
Oh, thank you. It's a bit of like a baptism by fire, I suppose. First time properly on board a ship.
How are you feeling? Joining?
A bit overwhelmed. My first night on board, it was nerve-wracking because the pipes in the cabin had made the most horrendous noise. Honestly, I thought the ship was about to sink.
Give it a couple of days to be fine.
Yeah. And then it was very cold. They're not warm ships, so yeah, that's not fun. I don't know what's going on.
Her first job is to learn her way around the ship's 9 decks.
I'm just wandering around aimlessly. I'm sorry, I don't know where I'm going. Thank you. I haven't learnt names yet. I'm learning faces. I'm more of a face person than a name person. Kind of. Hello.
You've been down here before?
No, I haven't, no.
Although Olivia is the least experienced member of the crew,
Got a sonar 2050 there.
Okay, what does that do?
as a trainee officer, she's one of the most senior.
Joining as an officer, I think you're in a really privileged position of having that responsibility for other people. Hello. Hello. Weird suddenly having people call you mum. You know, having been in the Navy for more than I've been alive.
Even though it's her first day, Olivia has her sights set on a long career in the Navy.
It'd be nice to get to commander maybe, but I'm not going to say that that's where I'm going. But it's something that I'd like to at least explore. Just need to kind of know as much as possible, as quickly as possible. Thank you very much.
No problem, Ron.
Thank you.
Northumberland is only a few hours into the journey towards the sea cables, but she's just had news. A serious storm is on the way.
You have a few hours now to secure absolutely everything. That is all.
The crew need to batten down the hatches.
Hello.
Tim Langford has to make sure it happens.
Just had a look at the Met. We've had an update, and actually we're going to be going into winds looking 40 to 50 knots.
Let's get the team out.
Make sure that everything's battened down. I'll make my way around the ship and make sure that we're secure for sea.
Team, it's going to get rough, really rough. If it moves, just tie it down.
The crew have to fully prepare the ship.
We're getting into bad weather, so securing for sea rounds is really important. Make sure that we don't shake ourselves apart.
Are you secure for sea state 7?
Negative, sir.
Come on, team. You can be so much better than this. Ooh. So 2 deck, not bad. The mess decks, my life. You secure in here. Go and secure the mess 4C. You join the Navy to do stuff. It is shit.
We can't afford for stuff to get damaged. More than anything, we can't afford for people to get damaged. All it takes is one big wave.
Up on deck, the waves are beginning to swell.
The range is 450 yards.
But bad weather isn't the only problem. To get to the Arctic cables and back, Northumberland needs a full tank of fuel.
Okay guys, once you've had your kit checked, if you fall into your position.
Refueling at sea from a tanker, known as a RAS, is extremely dangerous, even at the best of times.
Very sorry, I am making my approach.
A bit nervous because of the weather conditions. It is quite rough for us to be razzing today. Certainly the roughest I've ever razzed in.
There's a healthy amount of respect you've got to have for the situation, because you can't joke around with this. If you get it wrong, it'll go very wrong very quickly. If you fall into the water, we're genuinely looking at not being able to rescue you simply because you won't survive long enough. This is going to be horrible.
Northumberland must sail within 25 metres of the tanker, but rough seas make a collision more likely.
Be careful. Already down there? Right, rush.
The fuel nozzle must be pulled across before pumping can begin.
Whoa, keep it going.
And high winds are making it difficult.
Step on the line, get it sorted. We've been slamming into a lot of waves very hard, but we're dealing it as best we can. Step off!
There she goes. Quick.
Roger, receiving fuel, confirming the rest.
With the fuel nozzle locked in, refueling can begin. But there's less than an hour before the worst of the storm is due to hit.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
Confirmed ship's head rigs 102, 5 a port wheel on, 11 knots logged.
Below decks, Northumberland's leading submarine hunter Lee Ellis, known to everyone as Taz, has summoned his warfare team.
Hi guys. I've got Taz with me.
Right guys, give you a quick update.
Most of Taz's team are brand new and have never dealt with a Russian submarine before.
Right guys, so the situation so far. Up to the north we've got this submarine heading up in UK sensitive waters without going into the depths too much. The admirals back in London are discussing this round the clock 24/7. Really important that we do with it. The Russians are attacking critical national infrastructure, having the ability to affect our communication systems. For me, it is a new form of warfare. To do nothing is not an option. Strategically, we are reacting.
New ones won't have a clue what to expect. You've just got to roll with the punches, I guess, and take it as it comes.
So we'll just make sure that they're not doing anything that shouldn't be. It'll be tough because it won't be like training, it'll be for real.
That's it, let's make it happen.
The increasingly rough seas are starting to affect the crew.
No, so I need to find out where the sick bay.
Including Olivia.
Okay, all right, thank you. Outside sick bay, get seasickness tablets. There'll probably be like a few people that want them, I reckon. Hello.
Hello.
You look really busy, but seasickness tablets.
Which one do you normally take?
I've never taken them. I've not been away at sea. Sorry, I can't do anything more. I just need to lie here.
Virgin, stay where you are!
Back on deck, the crew are trying to finish refueling.
As soon as you can get your hands on it, get your hands on it. Grab it by hand. Watch your feet. Watch where your feet are. Quite a tough raz. Go for it. It's all sorted now. Well done, team.
Northumberland's tanks are now at maximum capacity,
Right, we're done. Happy days.
and the race to the sea cables can resume.
Got the fill we needed. That's complete now. Straight line removed. Straight line removed.
They've now got enough fuel for the journey, but the weather is getting worse.
Shit! Here it comes. That is massive. That is huge.
To make it to the cables before the Russians, Northumberland must keep her speed up. But the faster they go, the harder the waves hit the ship.
I don't think you'd get many sailors if it was always like this. Here we go. The power of it. It's incredible, isn't it? Just destroy everything in its path if it wants to. Gosh, look at that. That's about 10 metres there. Ah, that's a big one. That is huge.
Minutes into the storm, the ship is taking on water.
Where's it coming in from then?
Every time we hit a wave, sir, we're up against it.
Lieutenant Commander Marcus Adcock needs to get on top of it.
We won't stop it from coming in, so it's about getting out.
If you're taking on water, the 200 people here, that's quite a dangerous place to be.
More buckets. I want people up here more than a chain.
As each giant wave hits, the flood levels below decks are rising.
We start getting some more lads. Get some more buckets, 3 buckets. More buckets, please, guys.
Cheers, dickhead. If you didn't know the upper deck was out of bounds.
The floodwater is collecting under Northumberland's main gun at the front of the ship.
Explosives, ammunition, seawater, they don't mix. The harsh reality is we've got to get on top of it. Worst cases, things could explode.
If water gets into the electrics, one short circuit could cause a spark, detonating the nearby ammunition and blowing a hole in the ship.
Buckets coming down.
HMS Northumberland is still taking on water.
Keep on top of it.
There's only one surefire way to reduce the impact of the storm and stop the flood.
I'll go and have a chat with the captain and the bridge team and see if we can just reduce speed by a couple of knots.
And that's if the ship slows down.
Hi, sir. Would reducing speed or doing anything help?
I don't know when we're doing 12 knots. We should half that.
It's going to cost them time.
Oh, sorry, that's fine.
But it's the only way to keep the ship safe.
It's been an eventful morning.
As the ship slows down, the crew begin the clear-up.
Opened the fridge and literally everything was just in the middle, like in a massive congealed pile.
Did the mushrooms get squashed?
A few of them did, but I managed to save a lot of them, so it's not too bad. But it's just a pain getting it all cleaned up.
The last thing you want after the ship has essentially turned itself upside down inside, despite our best efforts to secure it for sea state 7, to have to redo. Yesterday you cleaned everything.
Wasted my time.
Never wasted. think positively. Oh, good times.
Finally, the storm begins to subside.
Helm, how's it looking up there?
he's looking rather dry.
And Marcus and his team can relax.
Joy.
This can all go in your citation.
Do you know, I was just thinking about MBEs, actually.
Now they can get a proper look at the main gun.
Weather's now a lot calmer, so effectively all we're going to do now is go and have a look at the front. Oh yeah, look at that. Daylight.
Oh, it looks like someone's took a shotgun to it.
The rubber seal around the barrel has been ripped apart by the weather.
Taking some punishment though, isn't it?
Yes, it really has this time.
High seas, lots of water into a small area has just caused a massive overpressure, and it's just effectively sort of imploded.
The gun, crucial for defending the ship, is now out of action and must be made safe.
I guess it will just protect it, just stopping the elements getting in, so. Right, get yourself back in there.
Northumberland is finally back up to full speed, but with a full day sailing to reach the Arctic, they need to make good time if they're going to catch up with the Russians. Today, there's some welcome news for the crew. A special delivery has just arrived.
Come on, JC, hurry up.
I always get mail. My wife's really good at it. She always sends me things that I need.
And the person that gets more mail than anyone is Taz.
My daughter and my son draw about 10 pictures every single day, and then just love to send them to me. And my wife's got to constantly post it, and if she doesn't post it, my kids get quite upset.
Taz won't see his children for over 4 months.
Hi Jacob, hello Chloe, this is Daddy speaking.
So he sends bedtime stories home to them.
Once upon a time, there was a deep, dark forest where monstrous trees groaned.
I've left behind my wife. I've missed yet another anniversary. They're 6 years old, my twins, and I've had 2 solid Christmas periods with them. So yeah, I leave quite a lot behind.
So Charlie picked his best sword, packed some sandwiches, a big bottle of water.
You can't mentally prepare for it, you just do it. You just accept it's your turn to go away, and you have to deal with it as best as you can.
I miss you very much.
Very nice, very sweet. My kids don't understand what I'm doing, why it's important, and why their friends' dads go home every night and I don't. And they're not quite getting it. They keep asking when I'm coming home and why I'm not coming home.
Northumberland has reached the northern edge of the Atlantic Ocean.
I'm losing my Arctic virginity today.
As am I.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning, but the bridge is in total darkness.
6633, magic number. We're almost there.
They've arrived in the Arctic Circle.
My first time. Here we are, submarines.
Anyone wishing to view the Northern Lights are welcome on the bridgeway.
With the sun still far from rising, the crew get their first glimpse of a spectacular display.
Oh wow. Amazing. Absolutely stunning.
Amazing. That's what we need.
Being in the Navy allows you to go places that people might not normally be able to do. And not a lot of people get to go to the Arctic Circle. Even fewer get to see the Northern Lights.
Just incredible. Just incredible. I've never seen so many stars in my life.
This is the great part of being in the Navy. given people the opportunity, I doubt they will ever forget.
Sunrise is around in an hour, so the sun's rising, but it's not actually risen yet.
This is the furthest from home Olivia has ever been.
The Northern Lights was absolutely amazing. Thinking about how much money people pay for those kind of experiences, and I was there getting paid to be there. Boyfriend's very jealous that I saw them. I think we've got about an hour and a half of sunlight today, with the sun setting around 12:40, which is crazy.
The captain's honouring a special naval tradition for all first-timers like Olivia.
Have you been to the Arctic before?
No.
Come here. You haven't. Crossing the Arctic Circle is known as getting a blue nose, obviously due to the temperature. So I'm just abusing my junior officers with a blue highlighter. The flight commander going to shout at me now. What blue nose?
Let's have a photo. It'll keep my mum happy.
Oh dear. It's good times.
Hiya, you right?
Now inside the Arctic Circle, the crew must start preparing to protect the sea cables Britain relies upon.
We're off to find the Russians. Everyone's getting ready because we're apparently making a lot of noise. That's what I've heard.
As Olivia is learning, the ship must be made as quiet as possible to have the best chance of hearing the Russian sub.
So what we're going to do now is spin around all the mess decks, all the communal areas, with special attention on noise. All right, let's go. Okay, that's what we're interested in when we're doing the anti-submarine stuff. It's the noise, just a little bit tighter on them, all right?
Really excited to be part of submarine warfare personnel, even not really having a huge amount of a role, massively important for my training. It's a great ship, I love it. Everyone wants to help and they want to help me learn.
Things like this is an important one, right? So they just take that down, it just stops it banging around. Anything you can spot? Spot on. You might think, well, what difference is that going to make? But if there's 5, 6, 7, 8 of them around the ship, okay, all those little things banging along all gets transmitted through the hull. Make sure everything's secure.
Ships give off a huge amount of sound, and as a Type 23, Northumberland's purpose is to do submarine hunting. So it's good to go round and actually see how people prevent noise, as it's important, you know, when hunting Russian submarines.
Happy with that? Yeah, so it was just tiny little bits, wasn't it? Overall, bloody good effort.
Yeah.
Cool.
After 2 days of sailing, HMS Northumberland has almost reached her destination. The next phase of the mission is to locate the Russian submarine and establish what threat it poses to Britain's communication cables.
The challenges facing us over this period is we could fail to track it. She could then turn around and go back into the thing. Hang on, I've just been called by the PO.
The closest point now 18 miles.
So it begins.
With news that the cables are now less than 20 miles away, the team in the ops room are about to begin their first ever hunt for a Russian submarine.
You know what we're doing? Draw a deep breath. Be sensible. Be confident and proud of what you can do. Do you have any questions? Let's do it then.
Officer to watch P will stream the sonar.
Taz is leading the search using Northumberland's state-of-the-art sonar, which can pick up sounds from hundreds of miles away.
I'm really keen to track the Russian submarine. But first we've got to get it on the sonar. Submarines are difficult to track. You know, they tactically, scientifically already have the advantage by the fact they're under the water. So they can wreak havoc. Yeah, they have the upper hand to start with. Roger, thanks.
Every sound the sonar detects is being fed through to screens in the ops room.
CPSO investigate unknown 3552, bearing 151 at 40 nautical miles.
Oswatch P-Will. Come left 200.
For some of the guys in there, this is the first time they've tracked a live submarine, so you can just see the enthusiasm.
1.1.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, I know. I just saw that myself.
The sonar team have just picked up a strange sound in the distance.
It's not what we're looking for.
It's a false alarm.
See what the
It's that frequency shift.
They've picked up something else.
Hang on, that looks like one to me. Yeah, what's wrong, Captain?
A suspicious noise is coming from somewhere nearby.
94111. New contact.
Confirm contact bearing 144.
Well, that's your contact there, and it's
Continue east southeast.
It's making a lot of noise, which indicates generally that it's quite close to us.
Access the yard time at 20.
00552 west. Increase to 12 knots.
The sonar team need to make a call. It's coming directly towards Northumberland and the sea cables.
Course of 113, speed 10 knots.
Turn out course 065.
It's the Russians.
We're side by side. We're submarine, guys.
Well, team focus in, now draw left.
We are V close to this thing. She is burning through.
And they're heading towards the cables.
Key thing is now what he does.
Golden weapon.
Just make sure that speed stays at 10 knots.
HMS Northumberland is secretly tracking a Russian submarine as it heads towards the location of Britain's crucial communication cables in the Arctic.
It's now on my starboard quarter. Speed 6 knots.
The sonar team are monitoring the Russians' every move.
Now potentially just, 6,000 yards away.
Good, well done. Excellent.
It's looking good.
Machine bit down, machine bit down, machine bit down.
But there's a problem.
Machine bit down, machine bit down, machine bit down.
The sonar screens in the ops room have gone blank.
Got to try and understand what it is that's going on.
Without them, it's impossible to track the Russians.
We've lost our primary sensor. It's just completely failed, so effectively what's going on outside is not able to come inside. We won't have a hope in hell's chance unless that sonar's working. So it's here,
It looks like the sonar controls may have overheated.
So where's the bit you actually change it? One of these, is it?
Yeah.
They need to get them working again, quickly.
Very complex machine, which requires huge effort from a team to get it back up and running. The pressure's there, quite simply. The sonar needs to work.
Until they can get the sonar fixed, they have no idea what the Russians are up to.
If we can have good lookouts on the port side.
Their only choice until then is to keep a lookout in case the Russians come near the surface.
You're pretty much looking for a periscope, so more eyes the better. And especially with low light, we've got about 2 hours of daylight.
I just think it's highly unlikely that we'll actually be able to see it.
Check quarters.
We have a riser.
Olivia has spotted something. A shape in the water above the sea cables.
Quite a large contact to clear the 6 to 8 nautical miles.
Roughly on our starboard quarter.
We think the submarine has come to periscope depth and put a periscope up. She's in that direction.
Oh, yeah.
It's a false alarm.
Good spot, Rich.
A pod of dolphins isn't what the crew were expecting.
It wasn't actually a submarine, but it's always important to make those calls. But it was quite funny.
It's been 20 minutes since the sonar breakdown, and the engineers are about to test their repair.
Your fingers crossed now, yeah?
Right. All right, let's get it on.
So we've changed that card out. Hopeful that that was the problem. Is that a normal picture there?
Initial signs are good.
Yeah.
Definitely getting an active picture of that. Glory.
It works.
Thank Christ for that.
It's really nice to see it working, and we're back out in the fight. Yeah, I like it.
She's doing about the same course and speed as us. So we think she's relatively parallel to us.
Was.
Gone. Plus 2 points.
The sonar might be working, but in the ops room, there's a new problem.
Contact lost by DMF. Last known bearing 028.1. Assess outside of 6,000 yards.
The Russians are now nowhere to be seen on their screens.
Opposition's P-Well intentions is to conduct a bold alteration of course to starboard. We'll have a look around to see why we've lost it.
We've lost it, but we had it. There's 14,000 tons of Russian metal in the ocean. She's not about to teleport herself out again.
With no sign of the Russians, the captain needs to rally his crew.
We know there's a submarine there. We know there's a submarine. It's not going to disappear just to lose contact.
If Northumberland can't find the Russian submarine, there's no way to protect the Arctic cables, and the mission could fail.